Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you are all well today. So, it's that time again, and it doesn't feel like that long ago since I was sat here introducing yet another new product from Neural DSP. The guys at Neural DSP seem to never sleep because they just keep bringing out products. They're either working tirelessly on the Quad Cortex, waiting for that to finally ship. I believe it actually is shipping the day I'm shooting this video, the first batch, so that's really cool. Congrats to everyone that's going to get one of those. But yeah, they're working on plugins. They've got a plugin team that are still working tirelessly whilst they're doing everything. So with that in mind, I'm incredibly excited to introduce to you the Soldano SLO-100 plugin from Neural DSP. So Neural and Soldano, well, Mike Soldano, have sort of joined forces and come up with a plugin which is the SLO-100. Now we know about the SLO-100 as guitarists, and if you've not heard of it before, it's kind of one of those iconic amplifiers that inspired a lot of more modern amplifiers. You know, I've done a video of, I have an SLO-100 here. I liked it so much when I reviewed it that I actually bought it, and I'm actually an owner of one, and I think they're amazing, to be honest. I think they sound really, really good, and to me they're like the source of where modern heavy high gain amps came from, and I really like that. I think it sounds incredible with a Strat or a Tele as well. So I was really excited to find out that Neural were going to be doing this plugin. So in the past, Neural DSP have made plugins like the NTS and the Nameless from 14 amplification, and they are focused on the actual, just the amplifier, rather than a suite like the Archetype stuff that has multiple amplifiers and all sorts of other stuff. So the SLO-100 it's basically that amplifier recreated digitally for you to use. And if you don't know what that amplifier is, essentially you've got a clean channel with a crunch, it's got a bright switch, and then you've got an overdrive channel, and basically it's a cascading gain stage amplifier, which means it cascades as you switch through the different channels, I believe, which gives you more and more gain. It sort of stacks gain on top of gain, which gives you this just wonderful tone. Really nice compression, really nice to play under the fingers, great for leads. If you put a tube screamer in front of it, it can do heavy as well, because you know, companies like Massaad and PV actually took huge influence from the Soldano SLO-100 in the makings of the Massaad Dual Rec and also the 5150. In any case, I've talked enough about the Soldano SLO-100. It's really cool that they've done a plugin. So in this video, we're going to be going through the plugin, listening to the sounds. I just want to let you guys know that this is a sponsored video from Neural DSP. They've paid me to check this plugin out and basically show you how it sounds, take you through all the features. Any opinions of this plugin are just my own opinions. I'll give you them at the end. But yeah, take from that what you will. Just need to let you guys know that. Okay, so we're looking at the main screen when you load up the plugin. I'm running this in Logic, and we're running through my interface into this. So we're going to be hearing this as you'd expect, like any other. Anyway, this is the main screen. Like all the other Neural DSP plugins, it follows the same aesthetic. So along the top, you've got the icons for the different elements of the plugin. So we do have stomp boxes. We've got the amp here. We've got the 9-band EQ, the IR section, and your reverb and delay section. Then you've got your input level, your gate. You can have mono or stereo. Then this is where you can save, load, and find presets and artist presets and all the rest of it. Then your output section. Then you've got the main interface for your amplifier. So this is the SLO-100. So you've got your channel switch here. Now on the overdrive channel, bear in mind that the bright and the clean crunch won't work. So when you switch over, then you get to use the bright and the clean and the crunch. So that's the main window for the amplifier. In terms of stomp boxes, it's really cool that Neural have actually tailor-made some stomps that work and really complement this amplifier. So we've got a compressor with a fast and a slow attack, which is cool, nice and simple. Then we've got one overdrive here, which is drive, level, and tone. This is probably a tube screamer. Then we've got a similar thing going on here, drive, level, and tone, but you've got a top boost as well. It's like an overdrive. And then we've got a chorus, because, you know, everyone likes a bit of chorus, and to be fair, this amplifier was popular in the 80s and early 90s, and that's when a lot of chorus was being used. So anyway, then we move on to the 9-band, which is classic, like all the, you know, all the other plugins. I really love this section. I think it's really handy, really helpful to dial in extra tonnage. Then our IR section. I'm going to guess that the IRs have been made by Nolly. I don't know if they have, but I'm assuming they have because he's the best at that. But in any case, you've got your speaker cabinet here. 2 mics are on it currently. We've got a 57 and a Royal 121. So that's a ribbon microphone. But then of course you can change up the microphones, you can load your own IRs, and of course, like all the other plugins, you can drag the mics around. I'm not going to touch it because I want to hear what it sounds like default. And finally, the reverb and delay, also designed by Neural DSP. So we've got standard sort of delay, but you've got control over the tone, feedback. It has the nice ping pong effect, which is cool. And you can sync it to your project tempo as well if you need to. You can change up the divisions as well. And then on the right here, a really simple delay, reverb even. So you've got control of the mix, the decay, and the tone. That would be the entirety of this plugin. Also, it has a tuner and MIDI functionality if you want to use a MIDI switcher to control the effects and stomps on and off. But without further ado, let's check out the SLO-100 plugin. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what the plugin sounds like straight in when you plug into it. So I've grabbed my guitar, plugged in, and this is the tone you would get when you open it up. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. Sounds like a Soldano. Although I would say it's probably sweeter to the ear than my Soldano, but they're all different. This is the one they've got that they've modeled. Well, that was just turning the reverb and delay on the stock sound, and I just quickly dialed in, well, I dialed back the mix of the reverb, but sounds amazing. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's a great amplifier, and by now we know that Neural DSP do a great job of recreating amplifiers digitally. So I'm not surprised that it sounds really good, because I love the sound of the Soldano SLO. So, okay, so we may as well check out the stomp section real quick. Since we're on high gain, I'm just gonna see what the overdrive sounds like at the way it's set. So this is without it. Let's chuck a bit of that on. Straight away when I turn this on, it's doing the tube screamer thing, and it is definitely for, you know, the aggressive progressive. yeah, just turning that on. If you've got like a baritone or 7-string or something, that's going to sound really good. So then what about the other overdrive? So this one feels more like a leady overdrive. You see how this one gives you more mid bump? So, and throw it on. But then this one, it's like tighter and it's got more top end. Really good. Again, I haven't touched the amplifier. I haven't changed anything about the amp yet. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so before we go ahead and start trying out some cleaner tones, since, you know, we're already on the high gain, I'm just going to mess around with the amp here and see what kind of tone we can get. As you can see, everything's dialed in at number 7, so... It's got tons of gain, this amp, without even using pedals. So the cool thing that I like generally about the neural plugins, that say you've got the tone kind of where you want it, but you can see the presence is already high with the treble. But you might want to bring out a little bit more of that using the 9-band. So I could use maybe a bit of 2K, a bit of 4K. So if you've not tried an SLO-100 before, and in fairness, they're not the easiest amp to come by, then I think that's the cool thing about this plugin so far. I mean, I know I said I'd keep my opinions to myself to the end of the video, but so far, it's great, in my opinion. And I think it sounds really close and feels really close to the SLO-100. And that's the fun thing about it, because it's a lot cheaper than an actual SLO-100, but it's got that liquid gains feeling about it when you play, and it's really enjoyable. So I'm definitely just getting carried away playing this, and I'm sorry to John for the fact that I just keep noodling away, but it sounds really good. and I really enjoy the gain sound of this amplifier. It feels like a great lead amplifier to play through. Let's mess around with the IRs 1 sec. Give it a bit more brightness. I'm going to just take off the effect. Let's make it a bit brighter. Great. Yeah, I keep just messing around and I'm forgetting that I'm shooting a video, which is a sign of something fun and something good. So anyway, I'm going to swap over to the telly now, and we'll try out some cleaner, push clean ambient tones. Just going to apologise for the lighting in this video. It's one of my lights has gone down, so I'm having to compromise with a different one. And try and use a bit of natural light, and it's not really working. So anyway, I've swapped over to the telly. I haven't changed anything yet, so this is like heavy telly tone. It's great. Anyway, we'll start on the clean channel. I'm going to take off the bright switch. Now, one thing that, obviously it's an exact replica digitally, and one thing that the SLO I've found is that the clean channel and the crunch channel, it is such a huge volume difference. It's really, really low volume compared to the crunch as the clean. So, yeah, it's really quiet. But it wouldn't be an exact replica if it wasn't, so let's boost the volume. The thing I would say is that the clean channel on the actual SLO is beautiful, so you kind of have to be in the room with it though for that kind of thing. But anyway. So we've got a clean tone, but obviously it's a little bit uninspiring because it's so quiet. Let's use the compressor. But anyway, now with the bright switch. Let me take it out. It's much, much brighter. Get a bit more, let's get some reverb back on it. This is the crunch channel without the bright switch. The difference is huge. Where the gain is now at number 4, obviously, if I go back to clean, I have to boost the gain all the way up. So it's nice, but I mean, that's if you want the super chime. Now, we're not talking about the plugin here, we're talking about the amp, That's what's amazing, that the plugin's just doing the job that the amp's doing. So, but now you go back to the crunch. It might be a little bit loud. Let's drop that again. And then with the bright switch in, switched over to the Strat because my telly wasn't staying in tune. It was deciding to be a annoying guitar today, so. See, I prefer the crunch channel on a Strat or a telly without the bright switch in. It's just, it sounds really good like that. Let's take some bass out. Still, obviously, I've got the compressor on, so I'll take that down. A little bit of chorus. So we're going for an ambient tone now. Got the crunch channel, the bright switch in, compressor, tiny bit of chorus. Okay, so we're at the end of this video. There was plenty of playing. I was just jamming away, tweaking, tweaking. So I'm sure John's chopped this video down to be somewhat reasonable in length. But what are my opinions? I think at the end of the day, it sounds and feels like the Soldano. The Neural just do this thing. I don't know how they do it with their wizardry over there in Helsinki, and they just get this digital version of an amplifier sounding and feeling great. Now, this is the first time that I've had a plugin that I know what the amp is, as in I've got the SLO here and I can, you know, I know what that feels like and plays like and all the rest of it, and I've got one here. The other amps, you know, they're all different, and I don't think I own an amp apart from maybe the 5150 that they've done a plugin of, except this. It's really good. And also, check this out. If you click the Soldano logo, Bosch, and again, Bosch. How cool is that? You can have snake skin, you can have purple Tolex, or you can have black Tolex. That's pretty sick. It's just another one of those little Easter eggs that they managed to stick in there. But anyway, yeah, it feels and sounds like the Soldano SLO-100, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that amplifier, and I was just getting carried away and playing. Yeah, the thing that's nice about it is there's a nice compression in the amplifier. It really sings for leads, soaring 80s hair metal shred leads. It can do the genty thing because it's basically a 51, well, it's what inspired the 5150. So if you put a tube screamer in front, it will do that really well. And I think they've chosen the stomp boxes really nicely here, because you basically have that on tap here. You've got the classic sort of tube screamer type, overdrive type, and the compressor's really nice on the clean and crunch. One thing I would say, and it's nothing to do with the plugin really, is that it just annoys me that the Soldano's clean channel compared to the crunch is so different in volume, and obviously they're faithfully recreating it here as a plugin, and it's the same here, so that is a bit annoying. But it's nothing to do with Neural's attempt to, I mean, they've done exactly that, and it is something that is apparent in the amp, so you know, more credit to them for getting it right, one of those annoying quirks of the amp itself. But anyway, as far as the plugin goes, you know, with all the Neural stuff, they include all the necessary stuff you need and want, and it's really nice to use, like all the rest of the plugins. My opinion is, if you want the SLO, or if you don't think you're ever going to get a chance to try or buy an SLO, this is the best bet you've got, really, in terms of having the amplifier on tap. I think you can get a free trial of this plugin, so if you can, check it out and see for yourself. But yeah, it sounds like the Soldano SLO-100, so nice one, guys. Thank you to Neural DSP for asking me to do this video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the tones, and like, subscribe, and share. I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.